Hello everyone, odedex here, and welcome to episode 100, woohoo, almost into Let's Play. And yeah, pretty excited, finally reached the three-digit episode. So excited that I can't even talk. Three-digit number episode, and this is quite insane, never expected to reach that long. However, my biggest aspiration, at least in the past 6 or 5 episodes, was to actually make sure that this project is completed by episode 100, and I even had one episode spare. I didn't have too many plans to what to do for episode 100, so just expect my normal mumbling and some other things. However, I do have some plans that I'd like to do, so we can get started. Obviously, let's go over what's going on over here. So you can see that this has been running for quite some time, and all the tracks that are placed here are being placed automatically, including the torch and the cobblestone block over there. So overall it's been worked, however, and it's a big however, there's been a change. There actually been two changes to the design. So first you can see I changed the assembler here to a deployer, and that's actually quite important, and let me explain why. But also before that, a much smaller change was actually, for some reason I missed and placed a normal frame here, so this was now changed to redstone frame as it should be. Alright, so let me explain why I changed this to a deployer instead of an assembler. And also you can see there is some very complicated crisscrossing redstone signaling. So this junction wire goes from here to this assembler, goes down into here, and goes over to that redstone tubing network to those deployers right over there. But you'll notice that that network is now connected to the same network with the cobblestone. However, the block right above this one is a normal tube and not a redstone tube. So you have to remember that those are two separate networks of redstone signaling. So the jagged wire that goes through here over to that side is not the same network. I could have just disconnected them using a panel, but it simply doesn't matter, so I didn't do that. So I'm basically using the same idea of harvesting the first signal available, the fastest signal available, even though I'm using a normal repeater, however on the shortest possible delay. So the first available signal goes here into here, goes under this small redstone bridge, and apply a redstone signal to this deployer. And also I remove the timer that was here and simply using the same signal to pull 4 cobblestone at a time. Now, since I'm using only 1 cobblestone at a time and seldom using 2 cobblestone at a time when I'm placing a booster track, this pretty much solves the problem. I may get a movement suddenly at some point. It may happen. Okay, so let me explain the logic of replacing that deployer with... oh, there we go. Block placement, track placement, and goes on. So the reasoning behind this is, if you were watching my Red Power Tree Farm episode, I had an issue where the assembler may have been getting similar simultaneous signals in the same jacketed wire, and apparently that's what exactly was happening right now. The yellow signal intersected with the potential either white signal or magenta signal, and the assembler on the bottom simply refused to operate. It was locking itself out. So that was my kind of ugly brute force solution, but apparently it works a lot cleaner than what you might expect it to. So the only thing remaining in theory is simply to build the rest of the track line manually all over the way to the beginning of the quarry, so this can officially start working. However, I'm going to do this later, and I'm actually going to first attend to other things that I wanted to do. And the first thing I want to get started doing is, most importantly actually, the new version, as I also mentioned in the previous episode, updated the Darrow 20 pack, updated to 5.2.1, and added applied energistics. Now, applied energistics contains a lot of different mods, a lot of different new blocks, which I really would like to look into and use. However, all of them require the base material of quartz crystal and quartz dust, which are both world generation. Now you may say, odedex, what's the problem? You can simply mine them with your red power quarry. Well, no. because I was actually often going really forward. Like I loaded a ton of chunks going forward, and that was before the new world generation was changed. So pretty much going at least 4, 5, even 6 chunks forward, even more possibly. Those are already loaded chunks that simply do not contain the applied energistics world gen. So what I'm going to do is, I do realize that eventually, yes, I will mine those minerals, and I am planning on the fact that I will mine them, but until then, that's not good enough. So let's solve that. Okay, so my plan is to simply create a new age, and I'm going to use my old 63 age that I like using because it was quite a stable one. Of course, I'm going to take out those iron tendrils because they create instability. So let's copy that over my usual handy notebook. So I'm going to go for Desert Hills, single biome, at noon, zero length, normal sun, normal moon, ender star field, star not lightning, flat, no weather, and that question mark that always for some reason makes my age stable. And I'm also going to add my new clear modifiers page, even though I don't know if it's actually necessary, but I like adding that. So I'm going to take that notebook and create it, dump it into that new descriptive book. Let's store again that notebook right here. And we have some spare pages that I brought with me. Take the descriptive book. This should be a stable age, so there is no problem here. So I'm going to bring a book stand with me and a linking book back here, so we can get started. Let's actually place that because I'm going to probably keep that age running for quite some time while I'm in there. So let's just place it over here. Place a descriptive book, age 67. Let's go. I pretty much know what to expect. This age is supposedly perfectly similar to my HV solar array age, so there should be. Let's first set up our linking book back here, and let's make a waypoint, even though more often than not they seem to be deleted, but just to make sure. I like finding the library there is usually available in those new ages. So that will be a nice thing to find if I could find that. Usually it's nearby. Potentially finding the lava page. Oh, there we go. And finally replacing my silly netherrack age with a proper lava harvesting age, because the current setup is just too unreliable. More often than not it gets unstable and has problems. Okay, boundless sky, a new biome, a biome control, and a secret chest, dark moon, dark red temperate rainforest biome, and another biome. Okay, not so interesting. However, let's actually get to business. Okay, so let's first have a quick look to make sure that that age indeed has those crystals. I don't know how rare they are, but I'm pretty sure that if I'm going to mine straight down, I'm eventually just going to find them. So let's go for long range mining. I'm just going to arbitrarily pick a spot and start mining down. And okay, and let's go to scatter mode. I'm not exactly sure what am I looking for, and again how rare they are. But in theory they should be here without any problem. Let me quickly look for it. Okay, so there we go. Just found some of those quartz dust, and yeah, that's the thing that I was looking for. So I can definitely set up some mining operation in that age, no problem. And by the way, if you're interested, doing that scatter laser method is quite a nice way to manually mine if that's what you're looking for, but that's not really my thing. Alright, so I brought myself an ender chest, which I'm going to recolor to be white, white, and white. I brought one of my old pink, pink, pink chests. So it's getting recolored. Now I already mined some here, so let's do it right here. So say this is gonna be looking over there. this. Yeah, it seems to be fine like this. So let's say this will be the ender chest. Those will be 2 energy tesseracts. Both of them will be accepting energy in the Buildcraft network. And remember, energy tesseracts are also cross ages. So I can use my nice, crazy red power blue electric engines. So I'm going to have 3 Buildcraft quarries, 1 in each section. So one will be here, will be right here, and the source will be going from here, over there and there. I forgot to bring some torches. This will be from here to here and there, and this will be from here, there and there. I think it's some torches. Okay, so got this little operation running. I did some mistake here with the original quarry, so there are some remnants frames here. But there you go. They're all running. This one's running at green speed, and those are running as fast as I would expect them to. I think I may want to actually start boosting up my potential red power energy generation, because this is not so fast. This is actually very far from being very fast. Now obviously there is this efficiency thingy, that the amount of energy that goes through is only 75% of what actually is being invested, but I don't know how it actually works. When there is something like this, maybe there is a limit to how much one network can send. I guess that's it, because it's not being emptied very, very fast. I think there's just a limit to how much energy one tesseract can, like, you can have it running through. So anyway, I got those 3 quarries running now. All of them are running. They're not maximum sizes. They're not 64 by 64. They're more like 30 by 32. So it's a quarter of the size. And you see, it's not perfect squares. I was kind of eyeballing it, so that's as close as you can get. So this is going to take its time. Obviously, as far as I understand, the quartz isn't very, very deep, but it's also isn't that shallow. So it's going to take some time until I actually can start getting some quartz. So this world is chunk loaded. The moment I start seeing quartz show up, the moment I can start using it. Until then, I'm going to simply have to wait. Okay, so what I'd like to do next is finally try and breed the Stark Bee. Now, even though I said I'm going to leave those queens here, I didn't actually. I tried breeding them anyway, and all I keep getting is those random arcane and supernatural bees. I thought maybe I was wrong, and maybe you can breed them even you don't have an ore node nearby, but apparently that's really not the case. You're gonna need to have those ore nodes nearby, otherwise, as you can see, nothing happens. And I went through the cycle like 3 times. Every time I have all those soul frames and still nothing happens. So basically what I'm going to do, I have 2 options. Either find a nearby node, which I tried doing and to be honest isn't as fun, or I can finally start doing some awesome thaumaturge stuff. And this is what I'm going to start by doing. So instead of looking for a nearby ore node, I think there was one here. That's the one I tried to do with first. There will go this one, but it's also like, it's kind of this fluxy node. It has those evil lightning bolts coming out. That's a bad node, kind of, in theory. I do remember there was another one here on that small peninsula. Somewhere around here, I think. Wasn't there one of those? Did it just disappear? I did a lot of bad magic. So some nodes may have disappeared or removed or I don't know what. Anyway, what I'd like to do is actually start moving ore nodes around. Now I did make a video tutorial on how you can completely mobilize them using red power frames, but for the time being I'm just gonna move one, hopefully if I can, just to this rough area of my house. So I'm not gonna do anything with frames yet, anything with those frames and those poles, but since I'm going to deal a lot with V's and everything, I think it will be a good idea for me to actually create the full thaumaturge set, because when you use things in Thaumcraft, when you're wearing stuff, you can see, for example, on my V's bar, above my hunger bar, there is this minus 5%. That means that instead of wasting 100% of whatever I'm doing, so instead of wasting, say, 200 vis on casting something, I'm only wasting 190 vis because I have that 5% efficiency. So you use less vis on everything that you do. And I get that because I'm wearing the goggles of revealing. That's a part of the thaumaturge set. So I'd like to complete that set. I've researched it quite long ago. There go the thaumaturge robes. So you get the chest, the boots, and the legs, and basically the goggles are the head. And that's simply an armor design for Thaumcraft. So the first thing I'd like to do is actually turn back on my Blaze experience system, because I'm gonna enchant those the moment I complete them. So let this thing start firing snowballs again. So they'll also drop experience once more. And let's actually build the set. Let's craft it. So to craft it, I'm gonna need 8, 12, 19 enchanted fabric, and every enchanted fabric is just a piece of wool and string. So that's extremely easy. Let's get a stack of string and just pick a wool I have a lot of. Anything breaking the 40 mark? No, but I do seem to have a lot of lime, so just pick lime. And we can have a quick look, see how my shears are doing. Yeah, they're doing pretty good. This is extremely efficient. I think I'm pretty much gonna quit Minecraft before I'm gonna need to replace those shears with anything new. Okay, so let's craft it. First, let's craft all the fabric. I think actually a stack of string will not be enough. Let's get 4 stacks of string, so I can actually just create a full stack of fabric, and I'll just find something to do with it eventually. So stack, this is not a full stack, this is a full stack, and this, and I just need 2 more, but it's gonna just spew all those string at me, so I do have some spare now. Let's just store it in here and create a full set. So place this here, place this in here, and create a lot of fabric. And now, using the fabric, let's create the actual robes. So let's create the chest. And you can see it cost me 48 vis. Now 48 vis is kind of a weird number because that's not the actual cost. The cost is 50, but when you wear those goggles the price drops and it goes out for everything. So let's enchant that, see how good can I get that. I think there are some efficiency upgrades to those robes, so they may even go to more than 5% or not. I'm not sure actually. We're about to figure out. So let's give it a 30 enchant. Got repair and protection. Not any use for either really. However, now I can't fly anymore, so I'm going to get used to it quickly. Okay, so let's craft the boots, the thaumaturge boots, and let's enchant those as well. I need some more experience. Okay, let's see what can I get on my boots. I got haste, repair, and fire protection. Well, they will repair themselves. That's nice. However, I don't know how much I really need that. The fact they can repair themselves, and the last being the leggings. Thaumaturge leggings. Okay, let's see what can I get on this one. Got repair and projectile protection. Well, it's nice. All of them got repair, but I don't plan to fight with any of this. It's like I'm not going to kill the Ender Dragon or something with it. I'm running fast. Is this normal? Oh, my boots got haste. Nice. That was unintended. I'm moving faster than normal, yeah. Okay, let's see. Do I have 20% or even more? How does it work? only got 10%. That's not very nice. Now I've got 5. Now I've got 3. Now I've got 1. Oh! So that only gives me 5, but the rest of my gear gives me 2, 2, and 1. Well, I guess it makes sense. They're a lot cheaper than the actual goggles. The goggles are also a higher tier if you think about it. They actually need a lot more things. Okay, so now with that full set, let's actually start crafting the actual node movement system. So the way it works, you build something called a basic core manipulation, that's the name of the project, but you build something called the crystal core, and you place it on those obsidian totems, and they will simply attract the closest nearby ore node to it. So let's try, I'm gonna need another star. Ooh, that's a problem I did not account for. Is there a recipe for another star from any one of my existing mods? I can duplicate one with the Tome of Alchemist using an already existing nether star and 3 wither skeleton skulls. That's kind of stupid because well, it saves you the time. You just don't need to fight the wither. Well, I guess it balances out because you also need a diamond and those 3 stuff, I don't know what they are. Anyway, from my current state, I'm going to kill the wither once more. So I think I'm going to go through the entire process of finding the skulls and killing it off screen, because you guys have seen it before and I don't think it's that amazing. So I'm gonna simply continue recording once something interesting happens, hopefully me killing the wither. Okay, so just a quick update, wanted to let you guys know what I'm doing. So I found another Thumbcraft dungeon in my overworld that I haven't cleared out yet. So I brought the skeleton spawner back here, and if you're not familiar with it, skeleton spawners, and only vanilla skeleton spawners, will create wither skeletons in the nether, and sometimes normal skeletons. However, the Soul Forge mode, or the Soul Shard mod, Skeleton Cage will not create wither skeletons, and I actually felt that on my own. I thought it would happen, it didn't, and this is why I built this entire cage area, but it actually proved to be pointless. So while I'm killing them here, I'm also slowly collecting a wither skeleton soul shard with my Vile sword, which has soul silver 5. So each kill is equivalent to basically 6 kill instead of 1, so that's kind of nice. But I'm waiting just to have my 3 skulls, and whenever I get that, I'm probably gonna, there we go, 1. I'm probably just gonna move on. And eventually, it's something that I really plan to do at that time. Why am I dying? Ooh, my helmet kept me quite a lot from getting the wither, but apparently it just ran out of juice. So let's get some power in there and continue. So yeah, I did plan to do that, to make the wither skeleton farm at the past when I originally got the spawners, but it's just a project that kept waiting and waiting. I may get to it sooner than later apparently, but again, just for the timing, just farming those until I get 3 skulls. Okay, so I managed to get those 3 wither skeleton skulls, and in the process I managed to get a tier 3 with 288 kills, almost a third way to a full tier 5. I'm not planning to do anything until I get a tier 5, no traps or anything. So for the time being, I'm just going to store this. I also repaired my Vile sword with some crafted ingots, so it's back to full order. But for the time being, I'm not going to kill the wither just yet, because I decided, since this is episode 100, and like every 10th episode I give you guys a world download, I'd like to get to a state where my railroad is relatively complete. And what I'm basically missing is the rest of everything. So I'd like to complete that before ending the episode. So I'm gonna need a lot of cobblestone. Did they find any quartz yet, by the way? No, only other things other than quartz. And at least my sorting machine is keeping up so far with 3 quarries, although they're not running at full speed, but 3 quarries and a red powder quarry. So yeah, it's keeping up quite nicely. Whenever eventually I will upgrade to applied energistic sorting system and storage system, you're going to see that it's a whole different level. It's something else entirely. Alright, so let's get started with the actual truck placement. So this is going to be a relatively mundane and boring process, but it's something that I'm going to need to do nevertheless. can also see that the track placement is going on pretty much flawlessly. So there is another booster track placed. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 normal tracks in between as planned, and it's going to do its job as it continues. But from the first point of placing a track to the beginning, it won't do anything, and I'm going to place it manually. So I'm going to do this off screen, and I'll be right back. Alright, so the track is completed. It looks kind of awesome. This one torch stands out because this is, I want to just remind myself, like for future reference, this is the last manual booster track placed. From here on forward everything is automatic, so this was automatic, and there are like 3 of those that were automatic, but practically this is the last booster track that was manually placed. It's kind of nice to look at this right now. There is so much manually placed over automatically placed, but in the future that will change, and this is why I think it's so awesome. Alright, so first let's start to create some sort of a landing platform and make it a little bit nicer and a little bit more convenient. And also let's start thinking about managing some sort of a card system, at least something that will work for the time being. Alright, so since I would like just for the time being leave you guys working in a solid state, leave the world working in a solid state and have hopefully no mess ups, what I'm going to do is use the same Enerchest network that I was using to create the tracks. But now finally I'm going to remove this book stand from here. I'm not planning to use this anymore. As I've said, it was something temporary that I don't really like using. This now because for the time being, any reason for me to come here will be either to fix a problem or to observe the craziness of this entire contraption. So the shortcut is now gone, unless I want to do something else, but yeah. Okay, so let's set up the landing system, or at least something that looks like this. And it should be very, very simple. I'm just going to create some area to stand on. It's going to be nothing fancy whatsoever. And cover it with panels so it looks nice. And just to top it off, we're just going to add the linking book back home also here. So there are now 2 ways to go back to the overworld, one from here with this linking book and another from the actual entrance. And to take care of the actual cards, I'm just going to add this ender chest here, which again already deals, considering whether or not I really want it here. Okay, let's not have it here. It's kind of too much if I already have one here. So since this chest already deals with cards, card-related things, and it will never get filled up because of the way it's managed right now, let's just have one of those here. And I can actually use the track to get to the other side. So push it a little bit, go in, and enjoy the ride. And since when cards have those noises? Is this Railcraft or Minecraft? Which has those kind of sounds? Not used to this. Why am I in flying mode? Okay, so I'm gonna have this ender chest as well in the actual entry point of that age. So whenever I traverse from one section to the other, most likely from the entrance to the quarry itself, I can just pick up a cart, place it down, use it, and break it, and then place it in the chest again, eventually leading to the fact that they both end up in the same network, so I can just collect them without any problem. I'm just gonna need also to set some sort of a redstone signaling here. I think just a button and a block will be enough. So let's have a bunch of those, change those into buttons. How do I make buttons? I forgot. Like this? Oh, I need smooth stones to create buttons. I didn't make buttons for a really long time. Just create a stack of buttons and smelt those instead. Okay, and yeah, that should do it. So that book stand is now going away. I'm gonna keep that book just in case and rename it as well. So it's gonna be Mining Age Shortcut. And I'm just gonna start in here. And now back to using that book. Let's set up the actual activation system. So I think something that looks like this will be enough. Place the button, it should turn it on. Nope, it doesn't turn it on. Will this turn it on? Nope. So I guess it has to be really nearby. Yep. Or you know what, let's just get some redstone. Make it look a little bit nicer. So you don't have to break your neck to actually get this thing to work. Mining Age. So have it right here, or actually have it right here, and have a redstone wire connected. Just like, don't really need this. Okay, so you place a track, you get in, you press the button, and off you go. Woo! I like the fact that the chunks load so slow. I guess if you guys are running some very high-tech computer, playing this age isn't that horrible, but playing it on my computer while recording is quite amusing with all those broken chunks loading in as you travel through. I think there probably is a way to make this go faster using Railcraft or Steve's cards, and I may look into this in the future, but for the time being this is just simple one straightforward and nothing else. But I'm really happy with the way this project ended. You reach here, you break the cart, collect it, place it back here, and observe the awesomeness of the big chunk, empty chunks, and you can go back to the overworld. Project completed. Alright, so on that positive note, I'd like to thank you guys very, very much for actually staying with me for 100 episodes. And if you actually haven't been here since the beginning and just caught up at some point in the middle, welcome and enjoy your stay. Thank you guys very much for being my audience. You guys are the reason for me to keep doing those videos, and I'm really enjoying it so far. And yeah, this has been a very long run, and don't get it any wrong. I'm still gonna keep going and keep going strong. And yeah, so a lot of things to come. Hopefully you can get started with applied energistics very soon, or my Stark Bees, whatever comes first. We're gonna see in the future. So as always, and since the last 100 episodes, thank you guys very, very much for watching. See you guys next time.